Welcome to Mind Decoded, where we explore the psychology behind human behavior. Let's decode today's topic. You sit down to work on a difficult project. You tell yourself you'll focus for 2 hours straight. You're motivated. You start working. 20 minutes in, your focus starts to waver. 30 minutes in, you're checking your phone. 40 minutes in, you're mentally exhausted. The problem isn't your willpower. The problem is you're fighting against how your brain actually works. Your prefrontal cortex depletes with use. It's not designed for marathon sessions. It's designed for sprints followed by recovery. There's a time management technique that works with your brain's natural rhythm instead of against it. The Pomodoro Technique. 25 minutes of focused work. 5-minute break. Repeat. It sounds too simple to work. But once you understand the neuroscience behind why your brain needs these breaks, you'll realize this isn't just a productivity hack. It's a system designed around cognitive architecture. Today on Mind Decoded, we're breaking down the Pomodoro Technique. Why working in 25-minute sprints actually works neurologically. How your brain processes focused bursts differently than marathon sessions. What happens during those 5-minute breaks. And how to use this to maintain peak performance throughout the day. Before we begin, a quick disclaimer. This content is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be considered medical, psychological, or mental health advice. If you're experiencing mental health concerns, please consult with a qualified mental health professional. The Pomodoro Technique was developed by Francesco Cirillo in the 1980s. He used a tomato-shaped kitchen timer to track his work sessions. Pomodoro is Italian for tomato. The name stuck. But the power of the technique isn't the timer. It's the structure. Here's how it works. You work on one task with complete focus for 25 minutes. No distractions. No multitasking. When the timer rings, you take a 5-minute break. Completely disconnect from work. After 4 Pomodoros, you take a longer 15 to 30-minute break. Then repeat. Let's start with why 25 minutes. Research on attention span shows that focused concentration depletes rapidly. Your prefrontal cortex consumes glucose and oxygen when you focus. After about 20 to 30 minutes of intense focus, these resources start to deplete. Your attention wavers. Your thinking slows. Mistakes increase. 25 minutes is short enough that you can maintain peak focus for the entire session. You're not trying to force concentration when your brain is depleted. You're working while your cognitive resources are fully available. The 5-minute break allows recovery. Your brain replenishes glucose. Oxygen levels restore. Attention capacity rebuilds. By the time you start the next Pomodoro, your prefrontal cortex is ready for another sprint. Neuroscientist Sandra Bond Chapman studies how the brain manages cognitive load. She found that regular breaks during mental work improve both performance and retention. The brain needs recovery periods to consolidate information and restore attention capacity. Working for hours without breaks actually decreases total productive output. Here's what happens during a Pomodoro. For the first 5 minutes, you're warming up. Your brain is transitioning into focus mode. From minutes 5 through 20, you're at peak performance. Your attention is sharp. You're thinking clearly. From minutes 20 through 25, you're starting to fade slightly. But the timer is about to ring. You stop at 25 minutes even if you feel like you could keep going. This is critical. You're stopping while you still have momentum. This makes starting the next Pomodoro easier. If you work until complete exhaustion, starting again becomes much harder. During the 5-minute break, you completely disconnect. Stand up. Move around. Look away from your screen. Don't check email. Don't scroll social media. These activities don't allow cognitive recovery. True recovery requires disengagement. Look out a window. Walk around. Get water. Stretch. Let your mind wander. This allows your default mode network to activate. Your brain processes information in the background. Now let's talk about why this works better than marathon sessions. When you work for 2 hours straight, the first 25 minutes are productive. The next 25 minutes are less productive. By the 90-minute mark, you're producing low-quality work slowly. You're spending more time but creating less value. With Pomodoros, you maintain peak performance throughout the day. Each 25-minute session is high quality because your brain is fresh. You complete more valuable work in 4 hours of Pomodoros than in 8 hours of marathon sessions. The technique also fights procrastination. 25 minutes feels manageable. Starting a 2-hour work session feels overwhelming. But anyone can focus for 25 minutes. The low commitment makes starting easier. And once you start, momentum builds. The forced breaks prevent burnout. When you work until exhaustion, you train your brain to associate work with discomfort. This creates resistance. But when you work in sprints with recovery, work feels sustainable. You can maintain this pattern all day without depleting. Here's how to implement Pomodoros effectively. Choose one task before starting. Write it down. During this Pomodoro, you work only on this task. Remove all distractions. Phone on silent in another room. Close unnecessary browser tabs. Quit email and Slack. Set a timer for 25 minutes. Physical timers work better than phone timers because phones are distracting. Work with complete focus until the timer rings. If a thought about another task appears, write it down quickly and return to work. When the timer rings, stop immediately. Even if you're in the middle of something, stop. The break is part of the system. Take 5 minutes of true recovery. Move your body. Rest your eyes. Don't look at screens. After 4 Pomodoros, take a longer break. 15 to 30 minutes. Get away from your workspace. Track your Pomodoros. How many focused 25-minute sessions did you complete today? This gives you objective data on your actual productive time. Most people discover they're completing fewer Pomodoros than expected. Now let's talk about common mistakes. They work through the breaks. This defeats the entire purpose. Breaks restore your cognitive capacity. Without breaks, you're just doing fragmented marathon work. They check their phones during breaks. This doesn't provide recovery. Your brain is still processing information. Scrolling social media is work for your brain. They extend Pomodoros beyond 25 minutes. Longer isn't better. 25 minutes maintains peak focus. 45-minute sessions mean the last 20 minutes are degraded quality. They multitask during Pomodoros. One task per Pomodoro. Switching tasks destroys the focused sprint benefit. They give up after 1 day because it feels restrictive. Like any new system, Pomodoros feel artificial initially. After a week, the rhythm becomes natural. Here's what to expect. Initially, 25 minutes of pure focus feels difficult. Your brain is used to constant distraction. The urge to check your phone will be strong. Resist it. This gets easier quickly. After 3 days, Pomodoros start feeling natural. You stop fighting the system. The breaks feel earned rather than forced. Work feels less exhausting. After 2 weeks, you'll notice you're completing more work in less time. The quality improves. The mental fatigue at the end of the day decreases. You can adjust the timing based on task type. For extremely demanding creative work, try 20-minute Pomodoros with 10-minute breaks. For less demanding tasks, 30-minute Pomodoros with 5-minute breaks. The key is maintaining the sprint and recovery pattern. Some tasks don't fit into 25 minutes. Meetings, phone calls, administrative work. That's fine. Use Pomodoros for focused work sessions. Handle other work between Pomodoros. Combine Pomodoros with deep work from episode 12. Block 2 hours for deep work. During those 2 hours, do 4 Pomodoros. You get the sustained focus of deep work with the cognitive recovery of Pomodoros. The power of the Pomodoro technique is simplicity. You don't need special tools. You don't need complex planning. You need a timer and the discipline to stop when it rings. That's it. But the simplicity is deceptive. This technique fundamentally changes how you relate to work. Instead of working until exhausted, you work in sustainable sprints. Instead of fighting through declining focus, you work while fresh. Instead of feeling guilty during breaks, you take them intentionally as part of the system. You're not unproductive because you lack stamina. You're unproductive because you're trying to marathon when your brain is designed for sprints. Work with your cognitive architecture instead of against it. The productivity follows. Next time on Mind Decoded, we're exploring one of the biggest productivity killers in modern work. Multitasking. What actually happens in your brain when you try to do 2 things at once? Why you're not actually multitasking but rapidly switching contexts. And how much this context switching costs you. Don't miss it. And that's how the mind works. If this helped you understand yourself better, subscribe for weekly psychology insights. Thanks for watching.